Hello, we are in Armenia at the Fastex Harmony Meetup. I am here with Burhan Alomari, Business Development Manager at Alchemy Pay. Welcome, great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeff.
And
Good to see you
tell
too.
us all about Alchemy Pay. What is your goal and what are the services and solutions you guys are providing?
Sure. So Alchemy Pay, our main product, is on and off-ramp solutions, meaning we help Web3 projects onboard users by buying crypto, so fiat to crypto, and also exchange back to fiat, so crypto to fiat. This is our main solution, but we've been diving a little bit deeper into what else we can offer. And recently, we introduced a couple of solutions where users can get a card that can be topped up with crypto, and they can use this card. There are a couple of versions. There's virtual and the physical card, and they can use these cards just as a consumer card to buy things with it, and they can top it up with crypto.
Interesting. And as I understand it, Fastex recently launched a card and they use Alchemy Pay or partner with you guys.
Yeah.
Tell us about that card. How does it work?
So Fastex, as always, they wanted to bring more utility to the users of the things that they can do with the platform and with the ftN token. So they reached out to us and they wanted to implement the cards into their system. And we helped them do that. And we actually launched a couple of projects with them. The first was the virtual card, which we white labeled to them. So they are managing the cards while using Alchemy Pay APIs on the backend. And the second one is the physical card. Now, the main difference between them is that the virtual card used mostly for online shopping, and the physical card is used for both online and offline.
Sure. So can the average user, I could go into like a grocery store, I can go into a restaurant and use what looks like a normal credit card and spend digital assets?
Yeah, so it's just a normal physical card, just like the one that you get from your bank. You can top it up with crypto, including the ftN token. You charge it with the ftN token, and then you just spend it however you want.
I'm curious, talk a little more about how that works. I think I've been covering a space for a while, and so long, one of the most vexing issues in the crypto blockchain space is how can folks actually use it? How can you spend it, right? And that's been kind of for years and years and years, onboarding has been a challenge. Merchant solutions has been a challenge. So it almost feels like magic now where I can go into a restaurant and have a digital assets and then somehow this piece of plastic that has a Visa or MasterCard logo, merchants will accept it. Tell us how that works. How are you able to magically get that cup of coffee purchased?
Sure. So, well, let me take it a little bit. Let me take it one step back.
Sure.
So, Alchemy Pay, we believe in bridging the world of Web2 and Web3. We believe in bringing traditional finance into the Web3 space in a seamless way. So, we've been doing on and off ramp for a long time, and that is bridging from crypto to fiat and fiat to crypto. So it was only natural for us that at some point we ask ourselves what else we can do. So this is where the idea of the crypto card actually came in. And the way it works is, so we've been doing off ramp for a very long time, and that is someone would give us crypto, and then they would send us their crypto, and we would send them fiat.
Yep.
And what we did is we took that concept and implemented it in the card. So we worked with different issuing banks, and those issuing banks gave us the capability of issuing cards through them. And we just integrated our off-ramp capability to it. So a normal user wouldn't see all that complexity. But what we're essentially doing is they're sending us some crypto, and we are off-ramping that into their card. So, and then they can just use that card as any other fiat card, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. This could be a very dumb, naive question, but for folks, I think, let's say my mother, who does not understand this Web3 space well at all, right? A question she might have is, but the prices fluctuate so much. In the morning, the price will be high. In the evening, price is low. I'm worried if I use my card to buy a cup of coffee, I might get, how will the price impact that?
Awesome.
So tell me how that
question.
works. Yeah.
Good question. So
help my mom out here.
Let's help her out. So to top up the card, there are a couple of ways. You either use stablecoins, which is like USDT, USDC. In that case, there won't be any fluctuation. Or you can use other tokens, as we said, as a ftN token or Bitcoin. And those tokens are, they fluctuate in price. So what you do is when you top up your card with those tokens, the price gets locked in, and we actually exchange that token to fiat in the user's card. So let's say FTN is, I think, at $2 today. You off-ramp 100 FTN tokens, for example, you get $200 worth of credit in that card. Now, if you want to exchange it back at that specific time, after 1 week or 2 weeks, if you want to exchange it back, then it will take the market price. So you're locking in your fiat, your market rate when you do the top-up of the card.
My mom thanks you. That makes sense. I appreciate that. So you, sir, are at a very interesting place in this ecosystem because as I understand it, you and Alchemy Pay, you're sort of at the intersection of TradFi and Web3 DeFi.
Yeah.
And you're kind of at the merge, these two worlds are bumping up against each other. What are the challenges of that? What are some of the complexities you have to overcome to make this magic happen?
Well, it's pretty much fair to say that we are like a Web 2.5 company.
Yeah.
We're doing payments on one side, getting the traditional payments and alternative payments and cards and stuff like that on one side, but we're catering to the Web3 projects, the token issuers, the exchanges, the wallets. So I would say some of the main challenges, like if I would pick two, those two would be compliance and regulatory. There's not much clearance about those kind of things.
Especially in the US.
Especially in the US.
Yeah.
Well, I live in UAE, so a lot of clarity there. It's getting much better over there. So we still have hope. So I would say that is the first thing when it comes to compliance and regulations. The second would be like the user interface and UI, UX in general.
Yep.
People are very used to the likes of Amazon, Netflix, when it comes to how seamless the user experience is. They log in, they get into their account, and they just do the platform. They just use it as is. Web3 is a little bit more challenging. You have different chains, different wallets, different all sorts of stuff. So definitely bringing that Web2 experience that been developing for years and years until they've reached where they are today into the Web3 is definitely a challenge that we're working on very hard.
I'm glad you went there. On a deeper level, I'm curious. So from my understanding, it sounds like almost in Alchemy Pay's bones is the idea that to really spur user adoption for blockchain, Web3 in an extremely mainstream way, it needs to be easier. The UX needs to be easier. There has to be less friction. Let's talk a little more about that, of why it's so important. Like if we really want to, almost at a philosophical level, if we want to get 1 billion more, 2 billion more users, my mom, let's say, who is not at all into Web3 crypto, to get those types of folks on board, talk a bit more of why UX matters so much and why frictionless matters so much and these solutions matter so much.
Well, I think in any type of innovation out there, it's always easy to get the early adopters, the people who would care about, hey, this would bring us after 10 years into that phase, like what the internet did, for example, or what telecommunication did for us. But after a while, it's a little bit harder to get those
They're cool with putting 20 seed phrases on pieces of paper.
Exactly.
I'll hide one paper under my couch and go give one paper to in my dog's crate, right? Most people are not going to do that. Yes.
Most people are not going to do that. And I've seen that firsthand. Like at one time, my brother, who's a very tech savvy guy, I would say, he knows about crypto. He has some tokens, but he's not in the space as in me. So he wanted to send some tokens from MetaMask a while ago to an exchange. He wanted to buy something. So although it's an easy task for maybe both of us who know how that is done, every time he calls me to do that, every time he calls me like what to do. So those kind of people who are not really in the space as in
the normies.
Builders,
the normies.
Yeah, they just want an experience as they would use any other app. They don't have to worry.
Which is fair. That's a reasonable request, I think, actually. That's important that we accommodate at some point in the space.
Yeah, because there's no one to call to. Like, there's no call center at blockchain. There's no call center. Like, if something happens, it's irreversible. So, yeah, we need to make sure that users, although it's irreversible, but they don't have to worry about that.
Last couple of questions for you. What excites you about the future when it comes to payments and on-ramps and off-ramps and what you guys are building. Give us a sense of what's ahead and what are you excited about down the road?
Well, as I said, our vision, we believe that we want to bridge people from Web2 to Web3. We want to bring in the next thousands of users, millions of users to the Web3 space. So Web3 has a lot of potential in different sectors, whether it's real-world assets, whether it's payments, whether it's like there are so many applications. So the first step for them is to get their fiat into crypto. And we're so lucky and we're so happy to be one of the people out there who are helping people to do that. So we're very excited to keep doing that. And we're also very excited to keep making it easier for people to get into crypto.
As people need it to be easier, thank you for that, sir. Appreciate it. Best of luck to you guys. Congratulations. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.